I am glad I am glad to see everyone here today, albeit is virtually. In these unprecedented times, it is heartening to be able to connect with all our coaches from Nigeria or within Nigeria on this platform. I am Joyce Walson. I'm a speech and etiquette consultant from Delta State chapter. If you're with me, kindly put the fire emoji so I can know we're together. Oh my God, what's really happening? I don't know. Okay, I can find one now. Yeah, thank you, Elocution Kiddos. So today we have gathered here to learn about the basic dress codes for confidence building and career success. I am super excited about this opportunity and I am grateful to our beloved ADCN. Before we dive into the agenda for today, I would like to encourage you and everyone to actively participate, share your thoughts, and ask questions. Let's make the most out of our time together and ensure productive and engaging session. We have two facilitators today, and the first speaker for today is Oludolapo Adewale. Let's meet her. Oludolapo Adewale is a media and communication professional with top-notch experience in diction coaching, presentation, production, content creation, scripts, and speech writing. As a diction coach, she has trained over 500 pupils in different schools, 70,000 teachers, and over 100 learners in a group diction session, including Wema Bank PLC's marketing communication team. She has also handled more than 12 executive one-to-one masterclasses, trained various church groups, many budding radio and TV presenters. As a master of ceremony, Oludolapo anchors events with a professional touch. She has anchored events such as the Lagos State Spelling Bee and various events across Nigeria. She is a bilingual voiceover artist and has voiced for organizations such as Nine Mobile, Waka Now, Sports Super Sports, Olam Agri, Women Radio, among others. In 2016, Oludolapo won the Outstanding Presenter Award in the Southwest region at the Nigerian Broadcasting Merit Award. Oludolapo is a graduate of Lautech, Ogbomosho, with a BTech in chemical engineering. She also has a certificate and diploma in public relations from the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. She holds a TESOL certification to teach English in all countries of the world. She is passionate about helping younger females grow in the media, hence a group she created, Media Girls Nigeria, where valuable careers resources are shared. So without further ado, let's begin our learning session. Thank you once again for being here. Your presence and contribution are truly valued. Let's have a fruitful and rewarding session ahead. With a round of virtual applause, let's make welcome Oludolapo Adewale. Ma'am, you have the floor.
Wow, thank you so much. It feels good to be on the other side today for once. So today I'm taking off the toga of a general secretary and taking on the role of a speaker. So it feels kind of strange and fun at the same time. I want to say thank you to everyone who has joined this call and to those who will join later. Thank you so much for coming. Today has been a great day. I can attest to that. I know we've been doing one, the other, but tonight will definitely be the icing on the cake. Welcome, everyone. Just as the moderator rightly introduced me, my name is Oludolapo Adewale, and I'm super excited to be here. I put it on my social media earlier that I'm raring to go. I'm super excited to share my story with everyone today. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Consider what I want to do as the opening act. You know, when you go to a concert, there's always an opening act, someone that starts the show while the main act will come. So the president is going to take the second session. So I am starting kind of whetting the appetite for you. So I want you to listen carefully to the things I would like to share tonight. And then the second session, you'll be able to get the full dose of what we have for you today. All right, I'm going to be sharing my screen so that we can go along with the presentation. So just some seconds, then I share. Okay, I want to be sure you can see my screen. Just in some seconds, I'll ask for the confirmation. So can you see my screen, please? I would like you to confirm if you can see my screen. Can someone put it in the chat room or on mute to say
Yes,
you can?
we can.
You can. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So let me start, shall we? Dress for success. That's what we're talking about today. What does it mean to dress for success? I'm sure when some of us saw the topic, you're like wondering, dressing, we're diction coaches. Are we supposed to be talking about dressing again? But really, dressing is very important. And I'm going to start with a very short story. And the story dates back to when I was a child. Okay, so the story goes, one day I was so sick and I couldn't go to school. And I was wondering, oh, I am tired, I can't go to school. I loved going to school. So it was a misnomer for me not to go to school. And my mom told me, get up, we're going to the hospital. And sick me, I couldn't just think that for anything that was bothering me at that time was just, I wanted to get well. And my mom told me, go get dressed up. And I went to my wardrobe, I got an outfit that was just there. Probably dirty, I can't remember, but it wasn't just good. And my mom told me that I should go get my Sunday wear. One of the clothes I usually put onto church. And I was bewildered, like, why? Why should I take my, so to speak, best clothes for the visit to the hospital? Then she said one statement in Yoruba, I'm going to translate. She says, Ìrísí ni ìsọnilọ́jọ̀. I'll take it again. Ìrísí ni ìsọnilọ́jọ̀. She says that statement. I grew up to now learn that she says the statement all the time. What does it mean? It simply means that the way you are seen, you are dressed, the way you are dressed. That's like rough translation. The way you appear is the way people will judge you. Forever, people will continue to judge us by the way we look, by the way we appear. I'm sure right now, some people who have met me either physically or online would have judged me by the way I appear. even right now, some people are making mental judgment, consciously or unconsciously, of what they're saying. Some people might be looking at my earrings and making a mental note of it. Some people might be looking at how I look, because we are designed that way. It's only God that sees the intent of our heart and says, oh, maybe that lady, the God only knows what is in our heart, but human beings can only, assume, but constantly we are judging people by external appearance. So my mom told me that day that you're going to a hospital, you're sick, that doesn't mean you should appear shabby. And you don't know that if you dress well, it could even assist us to get attended to early. It could make people see you as, okay, you're appearing well. The nurses will attend to you. They wouldn't just classify you as part of the market women, children, that kind of thing. My mom is a teacher. So, teachers were known for disciplines and all that stuff. So she was emphatic about it. Another story I would like to share is this a bit, girly thing. I was young as well. And, as a girl, sometimes you want to do some things and you're wondering, why? Why should I put on this kind of underwear? And my mom, that day, I picked up an underwear that was not good. It wasn't in good shape. And we were going to church. And my mom made a statement that, what if Jesus comes today? would this be the kind of underwear you put on? She said it out of frustration because I was bent on I couldn't just see the reason to put on the best of the best underwear. It was an underwear, which means people wouldn't see it. But she was so particular about it, saying the way you dress is the way you're going to be addressed. So I picked up something from that. Up till now, I'm still trying, but I always remember that, what if this happens? What should I do? And that's the reason I'm sharing the story as a startup for you today. Now let's go to the next slide. Research. What do you need to dress for success? First, you need to research. When you're dressing to that occasion, you need to research. Research, what does it entail? You need to ask questions. If you're a diction coach here and you MC event, naturally, when they see someone that can speak well, they just assume that, okay, you are going to be the MC at our school's event. When I was still teaching in primary school, naturally, they would tell you that, end of the year party is coming up. Diction coach, would you be our MC? That kind of thing. So if you're going to be the MC at an event, you should ask questions. Is it going to be a cultural thing? Is it going to be a cultural affair? Is it going to be a formal thing? Who are those coming? It will assist you to prepare, to know whether you're going to dress up casually, formally, smart casual, festive. I appeared on Channels TV 2 days ago, and I asked, it was my friend that was the host of Sports Tonight, and I asked her, I didn't want to assume that, okay, it was a TV show, I'm used to TV and all that stuff. I asked her, what's the dress code? And she said, smart casual, International Women's Day stuff, smart casual. And I did the same. Funny enough, we had the same color combination that day. Just not, it was unprecedented. So that was a question to someone I was even familiar with. Just a second, please. Thank you for that. Okay, so I asked that question, how should I dress? And I got the information. So always do your research, ask questions. Some people will say anything you have, but you can do a further research into the kind of event you're going to so that you won't be out of place. There's a phrase or idiom that I'm trying to remember now. Maybe the president can assist me later. When they say a fish is out of water. Someone is not in the comfort position or comfort space. If you remember that exact idiom, you can type it in the chat room. Now, you need to do a research types. What kind of fabric am I putting on? Is it going to be transparent? Is it going to be an outfit that is so hot or tight? Are you going to an event where it's going to be, the ventilation is going to be a big deal? Do you need to dress loosely or tightly? For a lady, I'm going to be speaking more to the ladies now so that the president can like focus on the men. For a lady, you need to dress in a way that you'll be comfortable. The last thing you want to do when the spotlight is on you is to be mindful of what you're putting on, because you want to focus on that speaking. You want to focus on that speaking engagement that you have. You want to focus on meeting with that client in your school or the place where you're proposing to teach diction. You don't want to be thinking, oh, is my underwear showing? Is my, private part showing? Because you didn't make preparation. If your outfit requires you to wear an inner wear, by all means, please put it on. You don't want to get there and start adjusting and start looking at, the client is looking at my body. Is my clothes transparent? Something like that. You need to ensure that your fabric is good for you. If the place you're going, if you're not going with a car and you're going with a public transport, and you're going to sweat a lot before getting there, ensure the fabric you put on really is prepared for that. Okay, and let me just drop a line there. If you're putting on a fabric that may make you sweat a lot, ensure you put on like antiperspirant in your bag or a body spray or something, because you're going to sweat a lot. So it's better to be prepared in that regard. A little extra, like what I put on my screen, belts, special earrings, like what I have right now. Some people are saying it's becoming my signature brand to always have African earrings. And it's a statement like, I'm an African and I want you to see it around me. So things like that can even form part of your conversation when you're meeting a client, when you're meeting someone you want to talk to. It can just form a connection and you start off your conversation from there. Scarves, things that can boost your self-confidence, that can break the ice. I think that's the appropriate word. That can break the ice when you're starting a conversation. Make things around you that can speak even before you start speaking. So all these little pointers are things I want us to start noting. Now, I'm going to ask a question in the chat room right now. What's the first thing? I want us to drop one word. When people see you outside, dressed up, especially at public functions, what word do they use to describe you? I want us to go to the chat room right now. What word do people describe you with when they see you outside? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I want to see your comment right now. What word do people use to describe you in the public when they see you outside? Do they say stunning? Okay, someone says regal. That's the president, Titus Bankole. It says regal, regal. Regal. All right, I'm expecting more comments. What do people describe you with? One word. Can you think of it? Just cast your mind back to when you were at an event and people say, oh, okay, Joy Joseph says, stunning. Chukwendo says, beautiful. Dorothy says, shiny. Shiny. Maybe you're wearing glitters, right? Good. Adorable. That's Michelle. Fantastic. Ruth says, beautiful. Wonderful. I'm expecting more. Mary says, gorgeous. Fantastic. Coach Simon says, pretty guy. That's for a guy. Pretty guy. Can we describe a guy as pretty? Well, I leave that to those with the dictionaries. Maybe we'll take it to the group and English doctor and all our great vocabulary experts would dissect that. Okay, Elor says, beautiful. Kate says, great, fantastic. Okay, Coach Simon says it was intentional. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love our responses. It means that we need to start paying attention to how people describe us. There's something in public relations that we know, and it's called perception. People will always have a perception about us. We can't really, there's no way we can really write the script of what people perceive about us, but there's a certain level to which we can control it. I'm also a broadcast journalist, and we know how we can shape stories to favor somebody at a particular point in time. Sometimes the person might be in the bad light or bad spotlight, but just a spin around the story can make people start feeling pity for that person. So sometimes we can shape the narrative we want people to know about us by consciously dressing in a way, by consciously appearing in a certain way. Let's go. Preparation. We are on preparation now. Preparation. What do you need to prepare? All these things I said earlier, research, you need to have it at the back of your mind. Let's go. Now, there are 5 W's and H you need to pay attention to, and I put it right here on your screen. I hope my screen is big enough so that you can see everything. Okay. Is my screen wide enough? Is it covering the entire screen? I want to be sure.
No, ma'am. It's
Okay.
not.
Yes, I figured out that it wasn't covering the entire screen. So just give me a second so that you can all see it clearly. Thank you for that. Please just give me a second. Okay, someone says it's big enough. Let me see. I just want to be sure that everyone can see it well. Okay. Thank you. So I'm going to start sharing right now. Okay, right. Is it big enough now? Much better, right? Good. Okay, so I tagged this the 5 W's and H. In most things in life, we need to ask questions, especially when you're now dressing up for success. The what, the who, the where, the why, the when, and how, they are very important. The first thing is, if you're going for a client, you want to meet a client, you want to meet a school, you want to go for an event, what kind of organization is it? What kind of organization or what kind of individual am I going to meet? You should have that what question answered. It will help you if they're kind of like a dressed down organization. They don't care. Everyone can dress the way they want. They're not really care. They don't really care about, you suiting up, dressing and, so when you go there, you're going to appear different. If you want to make an intentional fashion statement, then you can. But if you really want to just blend and be part of them, then you need to know the kind of organization. And for us as MCs, one of the things that we are told that we've learned over the years is if you're MCing an event, you need to also dress well for that kind of event. If the band colors, if you're hosting, I pray to host an event in a bank someday. So if the bank, for instance, if their major color is blue, and I come to that event wearing orange, which is a dominant color of another bank, it's out of sort. So it meant I didn't do my research enough to know what kind of organization I'm going to. So for instance, if I'm going to teach diction at a school, and I know that their major or their dominant color is green, like Adcn's color, I can put a twist to it. I can put on a green outfit or green earrings, green scarves, you know, things that will speak to the color of that school. That I am in the school, I'm also reflecting that school. It speaks volumes. You are being intentional about your dressing to that school. Number two, who am I going to meet? Know the kind of person you're going to meet. If your go-to person really likes someone really dressed up, you know, everything looking posh and all that, go the extra mile to appear that way. It's a good way to appear. Packaging yourself, like they say, it's very, very important. Where are they located? Are they local? Are they international or multinational? There are different organizations with different languages. When I say languages, is the way they speak. Some local companies they speak with a global language. They approach people in a global way, but some, they don't care. Just bring it. They don't really care. But for some multinational, for some international organizations, the way you dress really matters a lot. The colors you choose, if some of them, they don't really fancy flowery patterns or pattern clothes. So you need to know all those little details, things that they are used to, their culture in that organization. Do they dress down on Fridays? Do they put on t-shirts all through the week? Things like that. Just kind of have a little bit of insight into that organization. Why am I dressed up? That's another W. To be smart, to make a fashion statement, to appear expensive. If you want to get some kind of client, I once attended a seminar where, you know, we were told about things you put on your body that will assist you to stand out in a way because you're going for a competitive market. You can decide that day you're putting on a very special custom-made cloth. Maybe it's the best in your wardrobe. Maybe it's just what you bought with your last penny. Let me put it like that. You might need to dress in that certain way so that you can attract some people. I know some people will be thinking, should I break the bank right now? No, we'll get to that. Number 5, when will I go there? Are you going in the morning? Are you going in the afternoon? Are you going in the evening? All these matter because if you're going in the morning, have you considered if it's going to be sunny, if it's going to be rainy, if it's going to be cloudy? All these can affect the choice of outfit. Now, how am I arriving at the destination? Am I doing James Bond, driving there? Am I cruising there? Am I going by the way of public transport? I have gone with the public transport before, and the public transport cut my outfit. And I was going for an interview. What am I going to do in that situation? As a lady, I leave you to just imagine what would have happened, okay? So how am I arriving at my destination is very critical. If you're going by public transport, you need to make sure that there's a plan B, especially if you're going to a place where the spotlight is going to be on you. Either you're speaking there or you're making a presentation or you're trying to get a business. Always have a plan B, especially if the way of movement is not entirely within your control. Let's go. Okay. I'm trying to scroll now. Oh my goodness. Just a second. Okay. Good. Okay. Bio pictures. What about them? What about bio pictures? Now, let me ask, do we have bio pictures? Please go to the chat room and type, I have a bio picture, a recent bio picture. I have a bio picture. Please type it. Excuse me. Please type it in the chat room. I've got a bio picture or recent bio pictures. I've got bio pictures or bio pictures. Let's put it. I've got headshots. Excuse me. I've got headshots. I've got bio pictures. And if you don't have, say, I don't. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Mary says, I've got headshot. Joyce says, I've got bio pictures. I'm waiting for more. Chukwentu says, I don't. Elon says, I don't. Good. More. In the next 10 seconds, I'll close. I'll close this particular question and answer. Okay, Coach Simon says, I've got bio pictures. Fantastic. And we are done. Okay, so first assignment, Ajiro says, I don't have. Titus says, I've got tons of bio pictures. Some haven't even been taught. I can imagine, yes. So the first assignment I'll give to those who wrote I don't is you're going to do your bio pictures between now and next month. Please, Joyce Walson, write their names. We're going to be on their neck as ADCN. We're going to be on their necks. They're going to get their bio pictures. A month. We're going to give you a month to do it. Your bio pictures must be out, basically. Okay, bio pictures are very important. As diction coaches, we don't want to hear that we want to read out your profile, or we want to give you the Coach of the Month award, and you're giving us selfie, or you're giving us a passport where you're squeezing your face like, I'm just trying to be sarcastic here, pardon me. Please, you need to get a good picture of yourself, a good picture of you, rather. Get a good picture that would depict who you want to be seen as. So bio pictures, this was last year. These two pictures were last year. The third picture on to my right is 2 years ago. You see that my face has changed a bit, right? And I am planning to take more pictures. Now, this is what you can do. Bio pictures might not be a thing for you all the time. I'm going to the studio to take pictures, but you can space it. You can space it. How do you space it? Then the question is, do I want to do it annually? Do I want to do it 2 times in a year? You need to ask yourself these questions to say, oh, I want to do it at this time. I want to do it at that time. Let us know the frequency. Let us know the time. Some people do it close to their birthdays. They move close to their birthdays to say, okay, at least I'll do it once a year, and next year I'll do it, but be intentional about it. Dedicate an amount of money, dedicate the time for it in terms of your clothes, in terms of the studio fee, and go get it done. You need a professional headshot for you to appear well. It's very important, because even in your proposals to organizations or to schools, don't belittle any school to say, I won't. You can put those pictures there. It will make you stand out in a competitive environment. So let's go. So I want you to take a moment to admire my bio pictures. You can see me beautiful in my dark skin. Yes, I'm trying to gloat here. All right, let's go to wardrobe makeover. Now, for some people, they're thinking, I would put on a suit. That's money. I'll put on a gown. That's money. You need to think of how to clean out your wardrobe. The old clothes, some people need them. I'm a Christian, so I like to talk about missions a lot. Some people need them in the mission field. Go get those clothes that you're not putting on, get them out and take them to the mission field. Yes, you need to clean them out and you need to get new clothes. That's how you do it. You space it like, okay, in the next 6 months, clothes I've not put on for a while, let me get them out. Then you get new ones. You start, now I'm talking about budget. You start paying attention to how much you're giving out for clothes in a month or in a space of a quarter, half of a year, yearly budget for dressing. You start doing that. Gradually, you're shaping your wardrobe, you're changing things gradually. You can say, oh, if I get a job, if I get a Diction job, out of that job, I'm going to save 10,000 Naira just to change my clothes or my wardrobe. You can start being decisive about it to change it so that that money, you just think of a bank account. I'm trying to do a little bit of finance. Finances now. You can say, oh, this bank account, I'm just dropping 5,000. You can repurpose any clothes that is like old school. There's a way you can take it to the tailor and repurpose it for a good use. And it can still come out really well. My internet connection is unstable. I want to confirm if or to people that know about fashion, I'm still audible. Please, can someone just confirm? Same. Okay, I think I can see some movement. It's breaking. Yes, I can imagine it's breaking. I can see the comment that it's breaking. My internet connection, the bandwidth is actually low. But can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic. So as I round off tonight's session, I want us to think about it. What do I need to start doing to dress for success? I need to research. I need to prepare. I need to clean out my wardrobe. I need to dress well. The way you dress will continue to be the way you are dressed. What do I need to put on my body as I'm going to this event? Do I need to dress in a certain way? For ladies, sometimes we tend not to pay attention to our face because like every day, must I put on makeup? Must I do this? Sometimes you might need to go the extra mile. Let me tell you something. I'm not really the typical person you call a makeup person. I don't really fancy it, but I happen to be in a business that deals with a bit of glamour. Talking about my days in broadcast journalism, public relations. Now I'm doing content on social media. Everything really is intertwining to looking good and looking presentable at all times. So you might need to go the extra mile by learning the basics of makeup. I had to do it because I didn't fancy it, like, oh, put on foundation, put on this. I didn't even know how to do them, but I used to admire it on people. So I just learned the basics so that anytime I'm in my house or I want to do a video, at least I can draw something here, put powder here, put foundation here, put lip gloss, and I'm good to go. If you need to take that decisive action to just appear good, you're all sweaty, but you need to see a client the next minute. Can you just quickly do something on your face to make sure you appear good? Think about what you need to do to make that shift right now. And for those who have headshot right now, you can think of the next time to do another set. So I'll just leave us with the last line I put here. Let's dress to get the money. Let's dress to get the legits. We need to get it because the money is out there and it's all for taking. Let's do something extra about the way we're seen, about the way we dress, so that we can indeed be successful as Diction coaches. I hope that tonight you've been able to get one or two things from my presentation, and we're going to see good changes. All these things I'm teaching us or I'm sharing tonight are product of things I also learned from different webinars, from different conversations with people, from mentors. And I'll close with a comment from one of my mentors in public relations. I did a mentorship session some years ago, and she left me with this particular word. She called it power dressing in comms. Power dressing in comms. Sometimes your shoes can make a statement even before you start talking to the client, even before you start engaging the client. She says, there's something called power dressing in comms. It could just be your blue shoe because you understand the place you're going to, the client you're talking to. Your shoes can just speak the difference, make the difference, and speak before you actually speak. With this viewpoint of mine, I hope I've been able to confuse you. I'll take that again. I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that we need to dress for success. I am Oludolakwa Adewale representing Adcn Class 2B. Thank you.
Wow, wow. That was simply amazing. Can you hear me? Wow, wow. That was simply amazing. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you too. Thank you.
You seamlessly dazzled us with new insights. We are grateful. We are grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was so nice. If you feel the same way as I feel, put the fire emoji in the comment section. Thank you, Ma'am Dolakpo. We are grateful. We are grateful. So, welcome to the end of the first learning session with Dolakpo. And we are about to have a quick Q&A segment with her. Okay, I can see the emojis. Bring it out, people. Bring it out. More fire. Don't forget to dress for the money. Don't forget to dress to get a good biopic. That was very important. Get a good biopic to depict what you want or to depict who you want people to view you as. So don't forget to get a good biopic. So we're going to the next segment, which is the Q&A segment. And in this segment, you can ask questions, engage in discussions. This is your opportunity to ask questions or seek clarification. So if you have a question in the house, just signify by waving your virtual hand so we can point you out. Okay. This is Zenin to everyone. How do I pronounce his name? Zenin to everyone. Okay, you have the floor. You can unmute yourself. If you have a question. Okay, Zenin, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Zenin? Okay. Do you have any question in the house? Can we move to a second?
I think we should move to the second session so that the president can have a session and people can ask questions to the president. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. So it's time to meet our second speaker, Titus Bankole, aka Mr. Schwa, and aka President of the whole world. So Titus Bankole is the current president of the Association of Diction Coaches of Nigeria. He is a comrade leader and coordinator for Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, Agile Unit 1. He has a BA in University of Reading, UK, and an A English Language and Applied Linguistics in the University of Reading, UK. is IPA certified, CELTA certified, and BBC certified. Titus Bankole is a corporate trainer, phonetician, phonologist, speech therapist, voice coach, voice artist, actor. These are so, these qualities are so much. Compare. Is a lead coach and director, CEO of Phonics Techniques Media Limited. With a virtual standing ovation, let's give it up for Titus Bankole. There you have it.
Thank you most kindly, because Coach Joyce, I really enjoyed the introduction. It got me really laughing. I think it was kind of humorous. I like the part that you started with the president of the whole world. Trust me, if I were, or if I become the president of the entire world, the first thing I'm going to do is to turn the Adcn into the biggest institute or association anybody can have in the world. Yes. Well, thank you so much once again for the introduction. I want to continue by thanking the General Secretary for a well-delivered session. I just texted her. I'm going to share with everybody here now. I just sent her a message that just practically said everything I intend to deliver in my session. I'll add a few tips here and there, but I think you did a fantastic job with the presentations, quite insightful tips, and of course, eye-opening quotes and stories to back up. And I say a big thank you. And I think this presentation tonight is testament to the fact that we're growing an association that will be filled with value. It's my key word, because there's no limitations on the path of creating values. And you have to understand, in this noble business of elocution or public speaking, the opportunities are boundless, like I usually say. I always say with a great deal of conviction, I wish I could tone down my confidence and how much optimism I'm always showing or asserting when it comes to being an elocutionist or being in the line of communication. Even when you have downtimes, there are always ways things will come up in the end because you've got value. This particular night, we're talking about dressing. Now, once you hear dressing, I know it's quite simple. It's a lot easier for some people to fall in the category of the small thinkers. I mean, we want to limit the caption to wearing clothes, using accessories and all. Are you aware that dressing is a complete phenomenon? Yes. Are you also aware that what you wear tells a great deal? It shares 85% of whom you are. Are you aware of that? Because there is a great deal of consciousness attached to appearing. For those religious, you also understand that Jesus Christ, his journey, his appearances in his story were, in a way, I would say thematic. They were thematic. It wasn't just appearing. There's a particular time where he prevented a woman that was about to be stoned to death, from being mauled to death by people around. And his statements were quite clear. Now, if you went further to study the word, you see that before he made anything, it came with beat of being calm. Now, when I read another aspect of that story, Jesus Christ, when he asked those without sin to cast a stone, he was very intentional with that description. Yes, it was rhetoric. He was literally oozing with too much class. But guess what? His appearance was always majestic, despite the lowly description of his background. In that particular scenario, I'm taking to a higher level of theology now. It said Jesus Christ's appearance always oozes two things. Number one, power and simplicity. Meaning, even as the Son of God, I beg your pardon, I'm not religious here. I'm not being very religious. I just want to give you an insight that, considering the amount of power he was carrying at a point in time, he was also given so much attention to how he would appear. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this note, I want you to know tonight that It's not a mere case of what I wear. It is a huge case of what I want to command. And let me say this to you, whether we're of any tribe, ethnicity, or religion, your appearance can tell the sort of person you are in terms of decency and godliness. When you hear cleanliness is next to godliness, you think it's all about, oh, your clothes are clean. It's about how perfectly clad you are in some certain situations. And that is the truth. So on this note, I want to bring you into my own world of dressing, where there are numerous stories to share, and of course, very insightful tips to also learn tonight. I'm going to share my screen very quickly. It's going to be quite brief. It's something you cannot embed in mere slides, talking about the benefits, the tips, and the templates for appearing, for wearing clothes, or for using accessories as both ladies and men. Like Coach Oludolap mentioned in that presentation, I'm going to limit my presentation to, I'll talk more about men, but when there are cases for me to generalize, meaning I need to delve into the aspect of women, I will not hesitate to mention. So let's go to school. My favorite quote, let's go to school. Maybe let's go to school. Yeah. Is what I share with students, whether young or old. So dress for success, minimal dressing templates for time, season, occasion, and style. For time and season, occasion, and style. These factors also go a long way in informing how you appear. They go a long way in informing how you appear. That is how much concentration and how much dressing can have on you. And if you want to pay the much needed attention to how you appear, you have to consider factors, because some people who are looking at you, who see you also, might be as knowledgeable or maybe more knowledgeable than you are into how you look. That because you feel, sound so great, you speak excellently, you've got the gift of gab, like to say, you're eloquent. Your eloquence could raise the dead. Of course, you feel life ends there. You could be wrong. I'll share a story with you. Some time ago, I think precisely in 2019, I went for a proposal defense. There are about 4 people in line a particular day. It was like a proposal, it was a proposal defense, but it was more like a job interview. So I considered it another opportunity for me to release the big guns. And I said to myself, today, I'm not going to look typical. I'm going to look quite regal. That's when Coach Oludolap asked the question, what words? That was the first time someone used that word in describing my appearance. Now, I'm going to skip to a part you might see later in my slides. I wasn't looking overly expensive. That's the first thing I want you to note. When you hear regal, when you look astonishing, people admire what you wear, you think it's got to do about money. You might be awfully wrong, because not every great appearance is tagged or hinged to you breaking the bank. No deal, no peace, they say. So in line that day, about 4 people, I beg your pardon, in line, including me making 5, hoping to be interviewed for the proposal defense. It was about business communication. Yes, a big brand. Business communication. And then we were there together. I came in pretty early because I like to be early at such events. And when I got there, I was spotting a very unique look. Now, I wasn't wearing anything new. I was wearing from my old stock. Let me use that description to make things pretty clear to you. But my combination were lethal. Let me use the word. I combined one color in different shades. Are you listening to me? In different shades. And my accessories were also blocking shades. Now, you're getting terms now. They were blocking shades. So I was matching colors and blocking colors. And I ensured that everything that was put on that day would be seen. They would appear. They are part of my appearance. So they're not supposed to be hidden. They're supposed to be complementary, but will be seen. And everybody who sees them will understand they're complementary. Are you following my line of thoughts right now? To cut the story short, the person presiding over the entire process walked in and walked past where we were all sitting and chatting. And then I stood up to say an easy hello. And by merely stretching my hand to have a handshake with him, the first thing he noticed my pocket square. My pocket square was uniquely folded that particular day, and he had not seen anything like that before. And he asked me, "How did you fold this?" And I said, "Well, don't mind, I have got time to show you how to do it." He was quite thrilled and fascinated with how I folded my pocket square. The pocket square, if you see what's on the screen now, the gentleman, the photo of the man beside the lady, is the white strip there by the upper part of the jacket of the suit. There you can see how simple and little, how unimportant that pocket square seemed to be there. But it made a great deal of sense, and I created a great deal of impression with it. What does this story tell you? The least thing you got on your body can be the worst thing that happens to you. Of course, the big and the most amazing thing you've got on your body, the biggest thing you got on your body, could have little or no effect or influence as regards creating an impression. What does this tell you? That whatever you wear is a reflection of your personality. Let me establish that. Moving on very color and choices. If you're not there right now as a speech expert, as a communication expert, if you only feel that your expertise is required in the areas of language and saying words, using words, and you're not going to communicate in a non-verbal way, this time with the way you appear, then I think you need to go back to the purpose with which you are in the business and getting better learning. It's very important. It's that important. So let me go with one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite human beings on earth. He is an American fashion designer and filmmaker. His name is Thomas Carlyle Ford. Dressing well is a form of goodness. You know, if you're not doing well or appearing well, you do not have good manners. Point blank. Let's not debate that any further. Occasion says, let the outfit match the outing. Now, that's another thing you might think it's not important because I'm only going there to show my stuff and to dazzle everybody with crisp enunciation of words and creatively woven words to thrill the audience. But again, there's something going on while you're not saying anything. Your occasion is sizing you up. People who are appearing are looking at what you're wearing, your footwear, your trousers, or your pants, like the Americans say, the top you've got on, and you're asking those who are highly critical of people appearing at occasions, are sizing you up, aka fashion police, are looking at you and say, oh, is this person in the right place? Oh, wow, this person has nicked this particular look. I'm inspired. I'm going to take his photo and I'll ask him how he got his outfit or her outfit. Now, I had this happen many times. I've lost count. I'll tell you another story. I was in a TV production some years back. After the usual back and forth and negotiations, I agreed to be a part of the TV production, a sports production. It's a Premier League Live with one of Olutalapo, we know this person, Tega. We're on that show together. And because of the sort of intentionality that I always attached to my appearance on the screen, it became a unique weekend for every cast and crew member. Cast right now, making my co-presenter, and crew, the cameraman, they're always looking forward to what titles will be wearing today. And guess what? I would say to you, surprisingly, I didn't think I used more than 2 or 3 pairs, or let's say not to exaggerate, 4 pairs of suits on that show. But to them, it seemed like I was one man who had this huge wardrobe and could just stretch his hand and pick anything. They were wrong. No, I had just about 4 pairs of suits, and I had some nice, good quality shirts, and I was blending colors. And when I appear, everybody wants to take a photo. That, after a while, had an impression on the chief producer, all the owners of the show, and then my partner and I got wardrobe allowances, which was quite good. Your appearance can turn or can become a force or can turn or change, or again, I use the word, begin to I will use the word modify a system. Yes, because there is a way that you appear that complements how you sound. And then, of course, that regal description you wish you could have will be given to you. It becomes quite majestic. It's that comes when you appear. It becomes so effortless. You begin to think, I'm not even doing a lot. I'm not doing much. Sometimes I don't even know how much effect my appearance has had on people until they come to say it. And I said, I can't even remember what I was wearing on this particular day. This person was saying this or saying that. So, dear friends of this business, it's about time you started paying better attention to how you really want to show that you've got the stuff. Then I think you should wear the stuff. Are you listening to this? If you want to show that you've got the stuff, it's about time you started wearing the stuff. And wearing the stuff isn't about you breaking the bank, it's about you raising your rank. It's not about breaking the bank, it's about you raising your rank. If you think, oh, I've got very ineffective, quite inefficient bargaining power, start with how you look. When you appear, the right clothes, combination of clothes, the right fabric of clothes, like Oludolapa mentioned, begin to see the results. I don't know how to say this or stress this to make you see how important and how effective these things are, but you would know. Start today. Start today. Start tonight. You're going out for a drink with your friends. Wear something. Not because it's not far from the house. You appear like a masquerade that just survived a hurricane somewhere in your neighborhood. No, that's because you're going down the street to get something from a tuck shop or the usual word from a malam on the street. You appear like you just survived an electric shock. No, that's intentional. Be that intentional. I'll give you tips. You have seasons. So that is where I begin to own my own style. We say, oh, wow, this is amazing. You look great today. Thank you very much. Why? Because I'm aware sometimes of the times and season. In the rainy season, you begin to see me unleash my fancy cardigan sweaters. When I say fancy cardigan sweaters, I remember my old English days. Let me say old English days, where I was still somewhere in the UK out there. I begin to unleash them. And of course, that was an advantage because it wasn't too much. And of course, it wasn't underwhelming. But the goal was moderation. Moderation that strikes a great deal of exaggerated style in the heart and mind of those who see you. And when they see you, they appreciate you. When they appreciate you, some will how great you look. And that boosts your confidence times 2. That is the truth. So look at clothes tips. Look at sweaters when it's a rainy season. You look quite, what's the word? Intentional, precise, and still can be stylish. You don't say because the weather is cold, you wear an oversized cardigan sweater, dark color cardigan sweater, and then maybe sometime in the day the weather changes, you begin to sweat, like they say, partners like the Chris go, and they become very uncomfortable. Do you know there's a theory, a song created that when you work too hard, your clothes aren't good, you sweat. When you sweat, unfortunately, you haven't used the right body effect. You will smell. And when you smell, you make people around you uncomfortable. When you make people around you uncomfortable, you're losing confidence. And of course, they are losing confidence in you. And that time, not even your sprint will matter. Are you a lady here? It's a rainy season and you know that the hair can get wet. Are you considering looking for alternatives? Do you know the alternatives now you could use in rainy season to have your hair, hairstyle, hair products, and hairdo, so that when it is wet, you dry, you don't begin to ooze. I'll tell you another story. A lady walked into an office and the hair was oozing, was really oozing. And of course, someone noticed, and the head of the HR in that company called the receptionist and told her in a very subtle way, at least she was kind enough to be subtle, to tell the lady that she would not be allowed to walk into the interview, that she hadn't passed the basic test. That wasn't even in the check or on the checklist, but because the hair was making people there uncomfortable, she was let go. Probably she would have been the best thing that would happen to the company, but the company will be willing to let go because that was the least thing the company would want to have around. So, ladies and gentlemen, in times of season, in the hot seasons, wear light colors. Yes, hot season. Layering. There's something called layering. Wear more white shirts. I have treasured. I have a lot of white shirts, and people think sometimes I do intentionally. No, I wear more white shirts when the weather is pretty hot. Yes, except I want to become extremely stylish. I wear black clothes or dark clothes in the hot seasons. And now that it's really hot these days, I'm beginning to rotate my clothes more often. I'm choosing between white shirts and blue shirts because I'm aware of the times and season. Occasions, let the outfit match the occasion. Now, this year, I'm telling you, I'm not going to exhaust everything. I'm only going to advise you to use the internet to get sounds, videos, materials for your work. Why can't you use the same internet to create a chart for yourselves? Look at formal events and see what I can wear to have the perfect look, casual events, and professional functions. Because of my time, it's something I'd like to share with the men. I'm going to share in the next couple of slides in terms of suits or your jackets or blazers, so that when you appear, it doesn't look you're wearing you're looking like you're wearing an armor because the clothes are oversized, or something that's so tightly fitted that the buttons are gonna break or go off. No. So I said this, style is a reflection of your personality. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. One of my favorite lines, yes. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Before you go out of the house, check the colors, the color of the shirt you're wearing, are there little tears or are there loose threads? Do you go as far as checking? Let me give you another interesting story. Someone says something about the underwear, about boxer shorts. So I'll tell you, this is quite funny, yes. There's a time also, I used to choose my underwear as if, okay, this might sound really funny. Like, okay, something might happen. You might have to take up your trousers. Do you get that intentional? You're thinking that, or maybe the president is ready. Go that far. Yes, you go as far as anything happen, you could be required to take up your trousers and then maybe you see what you're wearing. I get that paranoid. Let me use the word. Maybe it's not a good word to use. I don't want to use the word desperate, but I get that precise and intentional about what goes on my body. And this in every way has paid off in any way you can imagine. And so check yourself before you wreck yourself. For men, look at this interesting style, in case you've never seen this before. It's always available. Go to Pinterest. I have 150 different folders for Pinterest. Yes. And guess what? In the beginning, it might seem quite arduous. It might seem quite burdensome. It seems some sort of Herculean task for you to, oh, I'll like check this. Before you know, it becomes a part of you. What's the best for this? Oh, Mr. Titor, I know you're busy. How can we choose in the fashion world? But I can tell you, I have friends of fashion inspiration. Yes, and I'm saying with every humility, and it's not because I'm heavily invested in the word vanity. No, I'm just invested in my personality. I'm appreciating my existence because I'm a creature that has been given the power to dominate. So when different colors, but still having a suit on, yes, it's not suit. The single top is not suit. That's the jacket, and it can even be a blazer. Yeah, bear that in mind. The same goes for women or ladies. Trouser suit or skirt suit. Bear that in mind. So you're not supposed to dry clean your suits more than 4 times in a year. Listen carefully. Not more than 4 times in a year, except you do some manual work. You're always rolling on the floor, teaching the schools with your suit. No, you're not again supposed to dry clean your suits more than 4 times in a year. As a matter of fact, 4 times in a year is that you're very desperate and probably don't have a lot of pairs. Yes, mind you. There's this video that went viral one time, the number of suits, the color of suits every man must wear. I thought it was exaggerated. I thought that puts people under pressure. Those who couldn't afford to have a variety of colors of suits, I thought it put them under pressure. Please disregard that video. Even with the 2 pairs of suits, You can still be astonishingly regal when you appear. It's about the combination and how perfectly, I would say, the perfect fit you have to your suit. And do you know that as a man, when you wear a suit and they got perfect suit, when I say perfect fitting or fit, I'm not asking too tight that it begins to seem like we don't know who's choking what or what's choking who, whether the suit is choking you or you're choking the suit. I'm not talking about that. You can check out the photos on Pinterest later. Yes, the goal inspiration. Look at this gentleman here. The gentleman in this photo here. Now, if you've seen, I'm a lover of films. I'm a lover of films. I watch films a lot for inspiration, for lesson ideas, and of course for language research. In his latest film, Creed, Apollo Creed 3, I got some fashion inspirations from there, where he did what we call an abstract combination, something quite unique. And I did it with some of the things I had already. This is what I had. I didn't have to buy anything new. It was wearing all blue in a TV interview where his friend challenged him to a bout. It was beautiful. I'd always worn that. I didn't know that it wore it in another fashion. And luckily for me, I've got a double-breasted suit and I had this blue shirt and a blue tie. I became, it was an abstract monochrome. It was stunning. And when I appeared at work, one of the places for work, I said, wow, this combination is crazy, Titus. Now, things like that can also help you. You don't need to get enclosed or keep to yourself about looking inspiration. Don't be too locked up. Reach out to people. You can ask questions and you can get good help there. You see, it says, if you're not certain about your look, get a hook. So reach out, watch things, read stuff, check photos out. Take your appearance to the level where you feel most powerful. If you appear somewhere and you look around and begin to hold yourself back, that means there's something wrong with what you're wearing. I don't think I've ever felt less about myself in any gathering, but the top CEOs are there, the movers and shakers of industry, the captains of industry. There's always something quite unique with the things you wear. Recently, again, let me share another story. It's a humble story I'm sharing with you. Well, just a very simple top. I had this, what do you call it? It's a traditional attire that has this unique design of what the Yorubas call ashoke. Yes, ashoke, right in front of it. And I went further asking the person to make me a pair of shoes that were made of ashoke as well. And with my simple blue chinos. It was a perfect blend. I got there as well. What is this? Titus, I've come again. And that, to be honest, and that top was not more than 15. Yes, listen carefully. Not more than 15,000 naira. And someone who had something close to 100,000 naira was still looking at me. Actually, one of my friends is a popular broadcaster. You know him, Mr. Frank Edoho. In one and he said, Titus, what are you doing? You're not even aging, first of all. This thing you're wearing is amazing. I said, really, Frank, what am I wearing? No, because I got intentional with my selection, not because I want to break the bank. Quality over quantity. If you've got 5 very expensive and 8 not so expensive shirts, you will live for a long period of time without spending one kobo on clothing. I can bet you that. This is March 2024. The last time I bought a pair of suits was in March 2023. Yes, March 2023. Not because I couldn't afford any, but because there hasn't been any need for any. Yes, I used a belt. I have 4 belts. 4. Listen to this. 4 belts. The most recently bought one was in 2021. Did you hear that? The last time I bought the belt was 2021. Because I didn't just buy a belt. I was intentional of buying a belt that could last. But I'm very sure many people here can tell you a story. You bought several belts. By the time you put the money together, it could be equal to the amount you spent on those belts. So when I say quality over quantity, you can have 2 quality shirts. You can wash and use them many times and they still be there, pristine condition, like they say. You don't have to worry about anything, or pristine condition, I beg your pardon. You're not breaking the bank, but raising your rank. A few good things will give you a great deal of things in return. and that is the truth. And lastly, consider clean, tailored appearance, both women and men. Let me end with this very quickly. If you're a lady, please tap into moderation. Anything you do, avoid a show. If you know your body type, wear according to your body type. If you know you're voluptuous, I use the word voluptuous, you are endowed, ensure that your clothing are not necessarily making your endowments be in full glare, because intention is pretty clear. That's the truth. As we have got clothes that can take care of your body type, yes, there are clothes that can take care of your body types without having to fault anything. Like I said, this is not a seminar that wants to tell you, no, it just inspires. Go and search or look into the tips that have been handed tonight and see how you can upskill or improve your appearance. Thank you very much. Let's take questions. Coach Joyce, are you still there? Can anybody hear me? I hope I'm not, I haven't been speaking to myself, or did I just get everybody under the anointing?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
I can hear you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. I can hear you
Oh,
loud
great.
and clear.
Wow, wow, wow. That was so amazing. That was so amazing. At this point, I feel like speaking in tongues. I don't know about you, but this is so amazing. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Your style is a reflection of your personality. And don't forget, the goal is moderation. Don't forget that. Wow, wow, this is amazing. We've come to the end of the second learning session with Mr. Schwartz. This session was too loaded, honestly. If you feel the same way, just put a fire emoji in the comment section. Thank you, sir, for being a repository of knowledge. Thank you for wholeheartedly letting us into your word of knowledge. We appreciate you, sir. If you feel the same, just put emoji. I can see Mary. Thank you. Thank you. So this is time for a Q&A session. If you have a question, just wave your virtual hand. If you have a question, raise your virtual hand. So our president and Gen Tech can actually clarify us on some things. If you have a question, raise your hand. Who's ready? Who's going first? Any question? Wow. Wow. Any question in the house? You have a floor.
Yes, Chukwendu. Chukwendu's hands are raised.
Okay, Chukwendu, you can unmute yourself and continue with your question. Go ahead with your question.
Yes, I do. I do have a question. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for these sessions. I truly appreciate it. I enjoyed them. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am. So my question is this. When it comes to accessories, I've heard that for females, you shouldn't wear more than 5 accessories when you're going out for corporate gatherings. Example, the 5 accessories, including your earrings, a wristwatch, or any other thing you want to put on. So I want to ask, is that correct, or is there any more information I can get when it comes to that? Then is there any rules to wearing brooches and other accessories? That's my question.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right,
who's taking it? Mr. President,
all
over
right.
to you.
Would you want me to answer that, or Ludolapo wants to go first?
Okay, let me
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Chukwendu, for that question. Okay, my video is off. Let me put it. Thank you, Chukwendu, for that question. Yes, in fashion, we are told not to, let me use this statement, over accessorize. in the sense that sometimes accessories, they are accessories, they're not the main outfit. So they're supposed to complement our dressing and not be like the center or everything we are made to see. So they are accessories. Yes, 3 to 4. The standard is even 3 to 4, not even 5, but at most 5. When it comes to putting on some accessories, you know, like I said earlier, be intentional about the kind of accessories you're putting on. What's the earring for? Is it to make a statement? Is it going to be off in this instance? Imagine if you're going to a school and the school is conservative. Probably the school, the head teacher, the school is like a Christian school, so to speak. And they don't usually use earrings in their school, most of them. And you're going there, you're putting on this kind of earrings. Do you understand? You're putting on this kind of earrings and you go there. It won't make sense because you're going to be different. But assuming you put on a normal earring that would not be as like shouting, so to speak, you will still make a statement with another accessory. Maybe you have a smart watch on, or you have a gold wristwatch on, or something else that you want to do. Now, brooches can make a statement. I once had a brooch with a voice-over artist in that brooch, and I went to an event and people could see it immediately that I'm a voiceover artist with that brooch. So you can use brooches to also make a fashion statement, to also speak before you're heard. Brooches are also good for women. I think for this kind of cloth, sometimes I use a silver brooch just to complement or make sure, especially if your cloth is a dark colored cloth or something, brooches can give it a bit of popping out. So that's it. 3 to 4 is what is really advised for accessories. Thank you. Then one thing that I've also learned from one of my friends, she's an MC. She anytime she's going for corporate event, she ensures that she has this very simple neck, you know, that kind of beads, the beads that are just simple on the neck, just not too big, but just simple. She uses them for corporate event, and I have picked that up, that I want to be dressing like that, especially for clothes. Once my neckline is a bit lower, not like, you know, this is a bit up, my neck area, but if the neck area is like this, then I can use a small bead, just, you know, the one that they use in all these English movies, something like that. So it's a good minimal accessory, just like the president mentioned. Thank you.
Okay. Are you satisfied? Mr. President, do you have anything to add up to it? Thank you very much, Ms. Dolapo. Do you have any other question? Do you have any other question?
Yes, Jael. I think Jael raised the virtual hand the other time.
He said, where do we place cross-dressing? I think he wrote his question down in the comment section. Where do we place cross-dressing? Who's going for that? Ma'am, do you want to attend it, or should the president go for it?
Let the president speak on that, please.
Okay. Mr. President, you're summoned. Okay. Mr. President?
Is he still on this call? Okay.
Okay, I think we're going to touch that in the group also. What do you think, ma'am?
Let me make an attempt on the question. Cross-dressing, from my knowledge, cross-dressing means dressing a certain way that the other gender dresses, like as a lady, maybe trying to put on some blazers that are typical of a guy, or trying to don a hat that is like typical of a guy in my dressing. And when people see me, maybe my pants are really straight and not a bit shapy, like the ladies' kind of pants. I'm talking about trousers now, using the American style. So all this are like what we can call cross-dressing, for a lady to dress in a particular outfit that is generally known to be for a guy. For me, if you want your persona, or you want your brand, your personal brand to reflect that you're a tomboy, you can dress down in this way, then you can by all means go that route. But if you know that you don't want your personal brand to reflect that you're a tomboy and you want to be seen as a lady, then you have to be deliberate about the way you're seen. You have to be deliberate about your choice of clothes. You don't want to make your audience confused about who you are. So cross-dressing, I don't think as professionals we should go that route. I don't think so. That's my opinion. If you're an actor, if you are doing something that requires that for that moment, then you can. But for your day-to-day living, no, I don't think you should. You should try to dress the way you want people to continue to see you day in, day out. Thank you.
Okay, this sounds nice. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining this session, everyone. Thank you for sticking to the end. As we close this meeting, let us carry forward this momentum and sense of purpose we have built here today. Let us continue to collaborate and still stay connected, even when we are physically apart. I encourage you to reach out